Wait a minute, Frank. Be old somewhere else. Okay. Now I gotta come on over. Hold on. Hey everybody, it's me. Welcome on into the channel. My name is Geoff. You could also call me Wags. This is Wagworks GA, where you will see art stuffs happening most of the time. Yeah, so I'm Geoff. I'm the artist. I'm one half of a creative team with my wife Ashley, and together we do kids comics, which is what you're gonna see here tonight. Be old somewhere else, Frank. This is my own home. Where else will I be old if not in my own home? Get off my lawn. Anyway, now that that's out of the way, banter notwithstanding, I'm like 1/8 of the team. Writing is 90% of the work. Oh, so that comic that I helped you write. Ashley's here and she's cracking up right now, so thanks for that. You might be able to hear her laughing, in fact. So the comic that I helped you write, then, I also did a bulk of the lifting on? Is that... No. Yeah, what day is it? I don't even know what's going on right now. It's been quite the start to the year, and I didn't help you. You wrote it and I plagiarized, but I didn't write any. I mean, I didn't write anything down or create anything. I have it on recording, man. Oh man. Yeah, anyway. Hi. Let's do art stuff. That's fun. I like it. So we're gonna go. I'm just gonna jump straight into warm up, because otherwise I'm just gonna start rambling. It was opposite day. Fair? I don't really know where to go with that. So yeah, I warm up with these guys. This is a fancy one. I know it's hard because I can always tell which one it is when I have it in the deck, and I kind of try to avoid it so I'm not actively picking it, but then that's also influencing it. You bought like a cover for your new drawing tablet? What kind of tablet did you get, by the way? Anyway, these are what I use. I pick a few of these that seem like they'd be fun to draw for a warm-up, and I randomly or pseudo-randomly pick one to do just a quick little 5-minute warm-up, and that's what we're gonna do. You are welcome and encouraged to draw along because art is fun, always. Oh, but they sent you a plastic screen protector. You know what I'm gonna do? I was gonna shuffle, but I'm like, I just have been actively avoiding this one for like weeks, so I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna draw it because it's a good Pokemon too.
What is it?
It's Flareon. It's Flareon, whose name I'm definitely going to type into the stream so that the kind, amazing, and beautiful human who puts my videos on YouTube knows the Pokemon name, because they apparently have better things to do than to memorize 1,000 Pokemon names. Oh man. So Flareon, that's what we're doing tonight. I'm gonna move on. It's an evolution of Eevee. Some people call it an evolution, in fact. Frank is also very kindly typing in the chat what it is to assist. Frank, are you also going to do the warm-up again tonight, or would you like me to draw a different one for you? All right, just pulling up my reference as I do. And hey, maybe you want to see my Clip Studio Paint window. Pew! Just do it every time. Pick one for you? Alright. It's a limited number, and not all of them are probably going to be exciting to you. But that's okay, because it will amuse me. Alright, so we got these ones. Alright, I know. Pick 1, 2, or 3. 1, 2, or 3. What you got? 1. All right, you, my friend, have drawn Ambipom for yourself. The evolution of Apom that has 2 freaky hand-like tails. Double the hand monkey, double the fun. I do kind of feel, I mean, I'm sure there are many people who find Ambipom very cute, but I do kind of feel like the hand monkey thing also gives me the ews just a little bit. All right, just gonna, and I'm gonna do the thing that I said that I was gonna do. Why do we have an extra border on our text? Let's just fix that real quick. Pew! There we go. All right, that makes it a little easier. That's our reference layer. Gonna label my layers, which again, you can't see me doing, but I'm totally doing it. Why does it look like that? Why not? Actually, is there flavor text on this card? Some of them have it and some of them don't. In their search for comfortable trees, they get into territorial disputes with groups of Pessimian. They win about half the time. I don't feel like that's helpful flavor text. I'm sorry whoever wrote that. I feel like you could give us a little bit more information. Anyway, I'm getting off topic because that is what I do. It's gross. Would you like an alternate? I mean, I can't redraw forever, and I can't guarantee you're gonna like any of the other choices. Oh, Ashley would like to pick one. Yeah. Nobody. You like the fish? Okay. You'd rather have them. Swinub. Yeah. Okay, Ashley has picked for you. Clear. Oh, you're giving Frank the option. Okay. Look at that. Look how generous Ashley is giving you options. Finion or Swinub or Swinub. It's a little blurry. It's fine. Say better. Better. You'll take. Is there actually the correct? There is. In where's the book? Where's the? By my knee. Oh. Excuse me. Let me just consult. Because on this stream, we're all about knowledge and facts. Frank says, thanks, Ashley. You're the helpful half of the team.
I'd like to think so.
Oh, man. It's 2-on-1. I like those odds. No, I don't actually like that. It's fine. I'm good. It's fine. I'm good. Oh, so you finally actually watched Skeleton Crew. We haven't yet gotten to it. Okay. It is, in fact, according to this, Swinub. I don't know if you can see the pronunciation right there. It's right. Can you point to it with your finger? It's right. How to say it? Right there. So. Swinub. Officially from the good people at Scholastic Publishing, who may someday publish a book for us, and wouldn't that be delightful? But also the Pokemon Company. Why are you laughing?
Shoot for the stars.
So scientific. The good folks at Scholastic and the Pokemon Company. Therefore, it's locked in. Swinub. Because why not? Sorry, I just had to. All right. Yeah. You can't wait to buy a Wagworks book at the Scholastic Book Fair. That is quite literally the dream. Oh my gosh. Scholastic Book Fair. So many warm, fuzzy feelings from childhood. Yes. I'm sure it'll be a touching book about a young girl and her adoptive goose sibling. Alright, Ashley is saying, okay, she's stepping away. She'll be back in a bit. Lawsuit time. What if it's a mongoose? Legally distinct. Just kidding. I'm not going to steal your comic, my friend. All right, so it's a 5-minute timer on warm up. As I segue. Yeah, so 5-minute timer. It's just it's really not a time that we're looking to do a finished masterpiece or really even get super far. It's more to just loosen up, warm up, get thinking about art. Because I definitely have not drawn anything yet today. That's Goose's Jamaican cousin. I shouldn't be laughing that much at that, but I really respect that one. Well done. Well done. All right, I'm just gonna start the timer. 5 minutes. Here we go. Sorry, just a moment. Sorry, I've got a child monitor going right now, and I actually am gonna stop the timer and go up and peek in on a kid real quick. So I'm gonna, it's early to do this, but I'm gonna put us on Be Right Back, and we'll be right back. Okay, I am back. All is well. Everyone is okay. It turns out when you have an epileptic child, you might be highly alert to the types of movements they make on the monitor when they're sleeping, and it's good to just make sure everything's good, and everything's good. So, okay, I'm back. All right, I've got about 4:35 left on my timer. I didn't really actually start anything, but I'm just gonna roll with it. So resuming in 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, it's one of those things where you'd really rather just be sure that everything's good. Yeah, so I mention this every time, but in case someone's stumbled upon the stream new, it's usually good to repeat. I have pre-made the decision for my warm-up sketches that I am going to draw the Pokemon in a sleeping pose. And I do this for several reasons. The first, in my opinion, inarguable one, is that sleeping Pokemon are very simply cuter than most other poses of Pokemon. And two, it puts a limitation on me that gets the creativity started sooner, which may sound counterintuitive. However, it stops me from spending forever deciding what I want to make the Pokemon doing, and start getting into the really fun questions, not issues, of like what what is the personality of this Pokemon, you know, and how do I portray that in a sleeping pose? So I find it quite helpful and have been sticking with it pretty regularly for the most case. And for this one, given that it's an evolution, I'm not going for anything too out of the ordinary. He really doesn't know how to draw eyes. Shh, don't reveal my secret weakness. So one thing that has been pretty awesome this week is that it's Awesome Games Done Quick week. So I have been really enjoying watching the marathon over at twitch.tv/gamesdonequick. It's going on right now. I think, I haven't looked, they might be about to crack the $1 million mark raised for this event is raising money for Prevent Cancer Foundation, which again, I think I mentioned last week, they do a lot of work with encouraging early screening and funding research and outreach and awareness to help improve the chances of early detection and in general try to just beat cancer. So pretty worthy cause, especially with you know, cancer has definitely been present in my family this last year, so it's also a very personal cause too. So I've been really enjoying the marathon. We all gathered around and watched a good chunk of the Tears of the Kingdom run that they did earlier today. It was pretty amazing. But I do encourage you at some point, they usually wrap up in the very wee hours, Saturday into Sunday night of the week that they're running. So I really just encourage you to go ahead and check them out, or you can also go to their webpage, gamesdonequick.com. And if you are able to and feel so inclined, make a donation just for the important work that they're doing, the cause. When you donate to them, the funds go straight to Prevent Cancer Foundation, but it also enters you to win cool video game themed prizes made by amazing creatives from around at least the United States, if not the world. Life did not quite arrange itself in such a way that I got to do a piece. I had time to do a piece to donate this year, this event. But I have done four events I've donated pieces to. And I've been really just, you know, it's like the coolest feeling in the world, this event that I've been watching for 10 years now. When they, you know, seeing my stuff was good enough to get up there. They liked it, they accepted it, and it can actually help their cause, and that's amazing. Anyway, definitely wanted to get a plug in for them. And also the Yeti. So just hold on, I can just drop that in chat. Let me just hold on. They partner with video game t-shirt company the Yeti, and they have several like exclusive designs for the event that are on sale all week, and a portion of those proceeds then go on to Prevent Cancer Foundation as well. If you want to peruse those designs and possibly get yourself an amazing shirt, you can go to that link that I just dropped in the chat at, you know, just theyeti.com, but with two E's at the end, not an I. Anyway, and I will probably be attempting to raid them, but they may have settings such that as a lowly Twitch streamer with not a huge following, it may not go through. But I think we're gonna try it, guys. It's like becoming my tradition to attempt it every event, and one of these days it will go through. We're gonna get there. Anyway, the timer went off a bit ago, and I have stopped. this is what I got. It's a warm up. It's a start. You know, I've had some that have really popped from the get-go. This maybe isn't quite that, but I'm pretty pleased with it. I feel like it captures kind of the demureness and cuteness of Flareon. I think, you know, the floof is the big factor here, and I got that. And I feel like it would be a good starting place to come back to at a later date if I wanted to. And that's really the goal, to loosen up and to get a starting point, possibly for a later project. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. Frank, how did you do? It's today the 9th? Yeah. Okay, so that's saved. And yeah, Frank, if you feel like you would like to share, I'm happy to share your work. Okay, I will be ready and looking for it. Don't mind me, just getting a few things in order here. I'm gonna hop over to this. So we'll be working on the Anthology project thing tonight. It's due the 15th, so this will be probably the last stream, at least of this string, working on it. So it's the next round of revisions that are due, not the whole thing. All right. Frank, you did that in 5 minutes? Grandpa. I mean, I know you call me that. There's not actually a whole lot of shock in it, but will this do it? No. No. I'm just checking to see if any of the previous like window captures that I'd already put in OBS might already have it. Oh, hey, maybe this one is titled Insta. That seems likely. Nope, doesn't like it. Grass and buildings brush carried you. I mean, fair. All right, just hold on. I just have to add the window capture in again. Okay, I'm getting there. There we go. There we are. Yeah. Eventually I get there. Yeah, I think this came out pretty good, Frank. Like, for a 5-minute warm-up, that came out really nicely. And it's amazing. I always forget about the brushes and clip that are there. That can help you do this kind of stuff quickly. But very solid warm-up, my friend. I made you draw, but the better half let you... Just throw all my Pokemon cards at you. What do you want from me? Yeah, but still, let's not... I mean, I know, granted, Swinub is not a super complicated Pokemon, but still, to get through flats is really, I think, in 5 minutes, and also do the rest of the work, like the even using a brush, like 5 minutes is very, very solid for this, in my opinion. But yeah, excellent, excellent. He's a circle with a. It's true. Another no eye Pokemon, truly. Unless you get up to the what was it, the final evolution of it, which is the Mamoswine, which that one actually finally has eyes. But I don't think Piloswine has it either. Piloswine. Anyway, I am getting distracted, which is truly what I do best. I know it felt like I was cheating like you do. Hey now. Hey now. If you just remember that the point is to do a warm-up and loosen up and think about art, then it's not cheating at all. You're doing exactly what you set out to do. So I have worked on this comic in between last stream and now. What is due next week for me is the revised first page, which is complete, like final colors and everything, and then the next step of the remaining pages, which in this case is pencils, which are very nearly inks for me. So I'm coming in, I'll show you some of that. We'll be doing the penciling tonight for the most part, but I will show you what I did on page 1. I didn't do any of the major revisions, like repaneling this with the title and all that. I felt like it was worth just letting that stand where it was for the time being. If there's time, I may reconsider it, but for now, I was pretty pleased with it. I redid the speech bubbles a little bit here. It was not a major thing, but that was one of the editorial notes that came back. I was like, okay, can you adjust the flow of the speech bubbles? So it's a little different. You'll notice that now all the panels that happen in the imaginary fantasy role-playing world, I went with a white border on them, so you can pretty clearly see what's real world and what's imaginary world. I also added a little touch on the shading, where I used a cross-hatching brush to kind of add some gradation to the shadows in the imaginary world. There's also, like, it's hard to see it, but like there's also a little bit of a glow that I added, almost like a misty glow. It's not overdone to the point where it looks like everything is Dragon Ball Z glowing, but it's enough to kind of it gives like a little slight warm nostalgic glow, I feel like, to a lot of the stuff. And then this panel here, you can see it where I transition from real world to imaginary world, where we go from the flat, like kind of cell shading, to the more crosshatch gradiated shading as it transitions into the imaginary world. And then the other really big thing that happened was I redid this entire panel from scratch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, the transition one? I like that one too. I feel like it's such a cool scene idea that Ashley presented, and I wanted to make sure I did it justice. And I think this at least starts to capture it. One of the recommendations from design is, like, I could have even used a strong shift in the color palette here. But I really liked the palette that I was using for it, and was having also not wanting to spend the time to develop a new palette completely, feeling like I was in a bit of a squeeze on time. So this is what I came up with, and I'm pretty happy with it. And yeah, Frank, I just do want to especially call you out for the recommendations on the hard shadows. I eased them off of pure black just slightly, because everything else is a little bit soft. But I feel like they do make a really big difference and help things look, make the orcs look much more imposing. You are so smart. Give yourself a hand. Absolutely. Yeah, so this is where we ended on the with the first page, and again, I'm pretty happy with how these edits came through. So now what I've just been doing is doing this interior spread. I got it paneled out. I need to adjust the border colors on the panels, obviously, and I've just been penciling for the remainder of it to kind of get in the final details. I had to, oh, that was the other thing that I was doing. Okay. I had to design out the human versions of the orc characters that I had already kind of figured out, you know, what they look like. And then the other thing that, oh, that was right. That's where I left off. I was designing out the Oscar's friend who comes in silhouetted here, but then actually makes a big entrance on page 3. And they are a gnome artificer, and just kind of figuring out what kind of design I want to do. So I hadn't actually finalized that when I wrapped up what I was working on last night. But here's kind of what I'm thinking. It's not entirely done. I was starting to work out a couple of concepts for them to see what I want to go with. Yeah, I was thinking about sketching out a few more just to kind of round out the options, and then, you know, talk with Ashley, see what we feel like is best fits the story. But that's kind of, yeah, so that's the start of it. And I can always tweak things. This is just pencils, so I can start with one silhouette and, as needed, adjust the silhouette here. So there's nothing that's necessarily stopping me from penciling a little bit further here. The other thing I was gonna do, that wasn't, there we go, was I was gonna make this panel a little bit bigger. One of the things that we noted was that we kind of, there's, you know, sort of a big moment here with where Oscar gets, you know, beamed by the football and drops the wolf statue, and it breaks, and it was getting kind of lost, at least in these thumbs, so we wanted to give that a little bit more more panel space to give it a little more weight and give it a little more room to really focus on what was going on. So I'm just gonna adjust that panel a little bit more. Actually, I think I need to bring this down slightly. Yeah, I did some resizing of some of these panels, and some of them didn't quite snap back to the same area. So I'm just trying to get these a little bit tidied up as well. Hello? There we go. Just want to keep things looking nice and even. I think that's pretty good. All right. Okay. So for right now, I'll start with the design on the left just because it's the one that I've gotten the farthest on, but it's just a silhouette and can be pretty easily adjusted as need be. One second there. You did not just finish a comic in 2 minutes, Frank. Oh my gosh. How many comics can you finish? As I am like penciling a single panel. I'm working on it, you know. I'm working on the speed thing. It's all good. bring the bushes down a little bit so it's clear that this character is seeing everything that's going on. Now, I guess as I drew it in the thumbnails here, okay, so this would be in the imaginary world. I was thinking like, oh, they're throwing the football that you see, you know, over here. But I think this would be more fully in the imaginary world, so it would just be like a rock or something like that. So it would indeed be the silhouette of the tabletop role-playing character and not the human person. Sorry, I'm just thinking this through myself, trying to keep track of some of the moving pieces of the story. Not quite that bulky. We'll bring back this panel just so I have that as a reference. Actually drag this over here. I'm gonna go ahead and decrease this brush size so I can fit a little bit of detail in here. So Frank, what is the comic? So I think we're gonna make the orcs not wearing any shoes. Posting it now. Okay. Alright, let's check this out. I mean, I can't argue with your productivity, that's for sure. "20 seconds ago. Do you want would you like me to share this, or are you good just keeping it on the IGs? That came out weird. Why did I say it like that? Anyway. So wait, have we met this character before? Can always share. Hi. Why not? I mean, the people want to see, right? Just a moment, coming right up. There we go. She was in like every other comic. Wait a minute, seriously? Totally going back and checking, and I just realized, of course, that was where. Oh, okay, I totally. Yeah, there we go. Wait a minute. The recent Halloween one. Okay. Well, now I'm gonna hop over and look. Okay. Yes, I did. You did a really good job, I think, of carrying that through. Like that, I could. That became apparent pretty quickly. Okay, this body is way too small for the gigantic head that I've drawn. But because it's not a huge panel, I do want to give it. Make it big enough to read clearly, at least. Don't mind me just making my character's faces again. Don't mind me just trying to remember how I throw a football to finish drawing the pose. You were playing some good old Magic the Gathering. I have not played Magic in a long time. I still have some cards, but I was also never terribly good at it, nor did I take the time to actually learn and understand strategy and deck synergy and all that good stuff. So it probably has saved me a lot of frustration, but I like the idea of it. Delich scrapes. So is it like an all black energy deck? Swamps and the like. Mana, I guess. Sorry. Black mana. Let's do it like this. Okay, it's okay so far. Then the way the deck works is you cast your whole deck and then win. Okay, you know that might be a strategy that's simple enough that even I could manage to work it semi-effectively. Yeah, get that elbow out a little bit more. Okay. Excuse me. It's a red deck. Okay. So am I remembering right that red is a lot of spells? Like I know they all have different spells, but I feel like I recall a lot of the red decks being red cards, at least that I'd had or seen circa 20 years ago, being, spells and more direct attacks and not creatures. Alright, I know in my sketch I only put 2 Fs on that sound effect, but you know what? It feels like 3 is right. Red is like small fast damage and green is big massive damage. Okay. That makes sense. I think back when I the short period of time that I attempted to play, I played largely blue-white. But not well. As you may have guessed, I ended up usually being more interested in chasing the art on the cards than the actual usefulness of the cards. Still a problem with Pokemon cards for me, in fact. In the 90s, I mean, yeah, that would have been the 90s. I know, can you believe I was like -7 years old and there I was playing Magic with a blue and white mono deck. All my like dragons and fairies and griffins and angels. It's good times. Good times. Alright, what was I getting at here? This may be a case where my thumbnail was a bit too loose. Anyway, yeah. So Magic the Gathering is one of those things that I'm like, yeah, that's really cool. It's not necessarily for me. I don't... I'll watch people play. Get it together. I will definitely like watch people play, but I just don't have the strategy intuitively, and I do not have the time and bandwidth any longer to do whatever it takes for me to effectively get it. It's just like fighting games for me. Like I love fighting games. I love playing fighting games. I'm not good at them, and I don't have the time to get good at them. Okie dokie. So, what is Oscar doing here? I mean, it's clear this is Oscar and his wolf here. But we've got the real life characters trying to scoop up his dice and being confronted. So maybe he's gonna be like turning around and be like in a I'm being ambushed pose. So maybe something like this, so he's gonna be turning around. Yeah, something like that. Okay, this is gonna be a multiple stage trying to get there, but that's okay. That's okay. Guys, you're seeing the creative process live and raw. Feel the crazy energy. Oh, it's a matte screen protector? Yeah, that I feel like that would feel weird. At least if you're used to things that aren't. That matte finish, like for me, I'm so used to screens being like very, very smooth and slippery. And while sometimes that's very challenging to draw on, I feel like if I suddenly switched to something that wasn't, I would have some troubles, for sure. So do you do most of your drawing now on the Galaxy? Yes. Yes, Geoff. So I have like the bag there. He's like swinging around. Maybe he's got like a, yeah, it's gonna be some sort of like greaves or boot there. So it turns into a little bit of like a even more caught by surprise, like ambush type attack. From here, I've got some real estate. And do need the wolf to be in here. Maybe the wolf is like coming in to like try to stop it. This wasn't what I initially intended with this, but I kind of like where it sets it up, because what does end up happening is like the kid obviously gets hit by the football and drops the wolf statue and it breaks. But this kind of sets that in imagination event to be more like the wolf took the hit for him, or took part of the hit or something like that. So I kind of like, as sad as it is, I don't want the animals to take the hits. No, thank you, please. Okay. Okay. I had to make some decisions there, but I did it. And look at that. Okay, so the loosey-gooseys that are short and have no panel borders are done on your phone. And the normal ones are the tablet. The Save the 1% comic was super political at first, and I had to tune it down. Oh my gosh. I kind of want to see Goose delivering some like grand oratory on the socioeconomic structures of our society. And how they're all wrong. That would be a sight to see. Maybe I don't need to draw over this one as much as I thought. Maybe this is actually kind of the pencils. Look at that. It was a commentary on a certain elected official. I hear some of those exist. I don't know. My whole thing with the stream is like, obviously we aim to be family friendly. I don't really, it's not a place that I really want to delve into stuff. Okay. Hey Frank, the helpful one's back. So this, sorry, what were you saying? Still page 2. I was just figuring out this one because I couldn't discern from my sketch what Oscar was actually doing, so I had to like, it's just kind of like a wiggly blob. I'm like, so I had to kind of figure it out, but I got it, and I'm actually gonna make the dog kind of jumping in to try to help him, and that's awesome. Or how the wolf kind of takes the damage. And so, and I did resize the panels further, like we talked about.
That's good.
So it'll give a little more real estate to that. So page 2 is almost done. The silhouette of the friend, I just roughed in the one design that I completed, but when we pick one, I can always swap it out if it's not that one. Because I will have to at some point drop it. Anyway. Hey, I'm not drawing the dog getting hit. That I cannot bring myself to actually do. Apparently, you know, you see the rock is in midair. Nobody's actually getting hit at this point. I didn't watch the funeral. So yeah, I work like on a contract with a federal office, but I'm not a federal employee. So a lot of the federal folks in my office, they were all out today for the National Day of Mourning. But I was working today, and we also had company come into town. It's kind of a full day. So it's kind of why I started off the stream. It's like, what day is it? You have a question. Okay. I cannot guarantee I have a good answer, but I can probably come up with some sort of answer. Ooh, this is one of my favorite things. I love vector layers and I love vector erase, and it's the best. So, vector layer, here we go. So, have you looked at your eraser settings? Because you can make it do a bunch of stuff that a regular eraser won't do. I tend to just use the hard eraser, and it can adjust to vector when you're using it on a vector layer. There's also a specific vector. Oh, you can't see any of that. Hold on. Whip. There we go. So, I like to just use the hard eraser for this because it actually will behave like the vector eraser when you use it on the vector layer. So I like that. There is a specific vector eraser as well. I just typically use hard eraser. When you go down here, there is the vector eraser checkbox. And as it turns out, there's several settings you can use. If you use erase touched areas, it's gonna basically behave like a regular eraser. It might make some tweaks because keep in mind, it's erasing vertices. If you look over, you know, it's obliterating any vertex that you erase over, but it's still going to try to do the spline or whatever smooth connection between those existing vertices that are still connected. So it does this. I never use it for this. What I usually use it for is this, the erase up to intersection function. So you can just, it will go, if there's other lines, it will just erase to where they intersect. And then you can also use, which this will behave differently in different situations. You can also use this one, which is erase the whole line, which takes out a much bigger swath and kind of ignores a lot of those intersections as well. So yeah, vector is great. That's the other thing that I totally didn't mention about why I use vector for lines, is because you can do stuff like that. It's quite handy. So yeah, like if you're, what is some random thing that I want to draw? Yeah, draw a horizon and there's like a building and some windows and you're like, that's not a good one. You don't have to be quite so precise because you can clean it up later if something doesn't quite work out. Oh, look, there's a sun with, right? So you can just come back in. Oop, that is up to intersection is what I always use. Just do that. Oh, look. Look how neat and precise all my lines are. Bam. Yeah, it's because it erases the vertices. So like you can see kind of what I'm dealing with here. And sometimes if you erase over a section that doesn't have vertices, it can still erase, but it will do it in kind of a weird way, where it'll try to create new vertices to fill in. So depending on where there were vertices, it can do some odd stuff. You knew all this, you were just testing me. Yeah, I mean, I figured. It's all good. But yeah, the vector eraser, excuse me. Just a moment. I was doing a thing. I'm actually good. It's okay. The vector eraser is another one of my favorite things about Clip Studio. Which one? Which one is that? Oh, actually, I'll bring the chat back here. Pew. One of these days, I'm just gonna record myself going pew, and then make that a sound effect that always happens when I click the transition button in OBS. Too helpful. Oh, helpful too. I've switched my words around. That's not what you said at all. Thank you. Thank you for the vote of confidence. Stop typing. Can you type something else just to prove that I'm not typing that?
I'm off.
Oh, you logged off. No.
Good night.
Good. Thanks. No. It's all good. It's all good. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Frank says good night. She says good night. Okay, I was doing a thing. Yes, oh, but not that color. Excuse me. So one other thing about vector, I haven't really made use of it as much. Am I still on the vector layer? I'm still on the vector layer. I'll clear that out. Okay. But what's kind of fun is you can come in and it's a limited selection, granted, but if you really wanted to, you can change the shape of the brush after you've already made the stroke, and that's kind of fun. So it can be useful for some things. You can change the thickness, obviously. Do you know about redraw vector line and redraw vector thickness? Because those are definitely also awesome things that exist. Anyway, yeah. There's stuff like that you can do. If you want to be fancy. Okay, yeah. Well, so there's the adjust line width, right? Where you can scale it up or down, you can fix it, you can do all that. There's the redraw. I haven't used this one much, but yeah, there's like the whole redraw vector line tool, which I don't use a lot because it gets super weird sometimes if you aren't quite sure what you're doing. But redraw vector line width is fun because it keeps your line in place, but you can like adjust the pressure however you want for segments like that. I guess the redrawing the line will keep the width. Yeah. So those are kind of fun. I think that redrawing the width can be a little bit more helpful, although I more often will just use this one to adjust the line width. That's me. That's what I like to do. Simplify can be pretty good too. I tend to just go in and manually delete vertices because I like pain, but that's also just me. Yeah, I mean, you can attempt to convert to vector. It doesn't always come out great, though. I would have to say. Yeah, so you know about the conversion menu. Like you can just, you select your layer and just, like I could take my pencils layer and go over here to convert layer, and I could pick, I want to try to make a vector out of it. But it's not always reliable, especially if you're using a brush that's either really thick or that has a little bit of texture to it. you're not going to get that straight up line in your vector. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I first started using vector layers in like Illustrator. Like I did some comics longer ago than I'd like to admit. No, like in the like 2004, 2005, 2006. Yeah, probably it was like CS2. So it was probably like 06, 07 even. And I did them in Illustrator, and I drew them entirely by mouse. And I used vector layers for that. And what was nice in Illustrator is that you could fill the closed shapes in the vector layers. But because they were a bit tricky, I kind of shied away from them again for a while. But then coming back into Clip, the vectors and using it with a pen, it is really an improved functionality, and I like it a lot. Illustrator. Well, that was back when you could actually own it, like buy the program and own it. Like they still have like the support license right now, but you can still, if you bought it, you can still go and buy like a version of it that will run on your computer. So yeah, I still have the ability to use CS2 if I really wanted to. But I mean, with Clip, I'm like, why would I do that? Okay, I was doing a thing. All right, we'll scale this back a little bit. Like, good thing you told me about it. Yeah, Frank, where's your affiliate link? Come on. You could be making the big bucks off of all those people downloading Clip with your affiliate link. I am making my characters' faces again. Don't mind me. I'm just going to keep doing that. No. It would be really funny if I actually had to close my eyes to draw someone with their eyes closed. Not just because we just joked about that during the warm-up anyway, but like, that would be really challenging, but kind of hilarious. Eye of Darkness made you cry. Oh, right, you mentioned Marcion Rowe is no longer your favorite. So here's the thing that just caught my eye. Okay. So I like his head going this way in this panel because it helps with the flow of the panels overall. It points towards the next panel, and it just kind of flows towards in as well the next page. So you get this kind of gentle eye leading thing going on. But it doesn't make sense if you look at this panel that he gets hit on that side of the head with a football. So, but I like the pose, the way he's turning in this one. So what do I do here? Okay. You can fix this for me. See, so you need to make an HBO High Republic show that's just the books. I'm still frustrated that they canceled the Acolyte. It was really interesting where they were going with it. select that panel and hit the reverse one. I can. What I'm struggling with is just the fact that I've already set it up with this particular directionality. Yeah. So you're saying this panel right here, right? The lower left corner one? I mean, I can try it. I will certainly try. I can certainly try. I mean, the sound effect I'll have to change. Maybe. So usually they don't recommend that you switch, like you kind of cross, there's like a transverse, oh, how do they talk about it? There's like kind of like a line in your scene, a camera line, and they don't recommend frequently switching, crossing over that line with your camera angle. But it's not unheard of. Yeah, I mean, I just need to switch the sound effect around. I'm gonna think about this for a second. I have to go pee, so I'm gonna go do that, and I will be right back, and then we'll figure this out. But I think I do see what you're saying. So, all right, give me a minute. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. All right. To be fair, I have been drinking water from my water bottle this whole time. But, okay, I think we can work with this. And I do like that it makes sense we're adding a new character perspective here. So the sudden jump does feel a little justifiable. Oh, are you looking at your aliasing settings, by the way, Frank? Or anti-aliasing? Your anti-aliasing settings for your pens. Because you can make it look less crunchy. Okay. Apply transformation. Yeah, I will. So yeah, I'm looking at my pens here. Oh, this is wider than it should be. That's why. Okay. Anyway, I like to. This is a specialty G pen that I found, but yeah, the real G pen. Just looking at it. So you've got these little guys down here. See what I'm talking about? And they're they control the anti-aliasing on your brush, which kind of controls how crispy everything looks. So right now it's on this medium anti-aliasing, which is going to be pretty decently smooth. Like the edges aren't too bad. You can smooth it out even more a bit, and that just talks about how it introduces these little halftone type, not halftone, but like the semi-transparent pixels at the edge of the brush stroke. Whereas if you do it without any, it's just, there's no semi-transparency or like anywhere in there, and it's just like the jagged edge. So that's like super crispy. It gives you a little control to smooth it out. But I guess, real G Pen is, I never used it, so I didn't realize how intensely crispy it was on its own. So you can play with that to make it a little bit less harsh, but I guess it is, it is still real G Pen. When I use my preferred pen, I usually turn off the anti-aliasing, so I use none. So my line's like a little bit more pixelated at the edges, but what's nice about it is when I'm using it for coloring and shading, there's not really any weirdness if I want to fill something in or select. Like if you use the anti-aliasing, it'll give that little semi-transparent border, which will usually break your bucket fill or even mess with your like magic wand selection and that kind of stuff. So it's all personal preference, but that's what I like to do. Okay. I mean, I really like my letters here. Can I just be lazy? Oh no, it's gonna interfere. I can just redraw them. That's not that big of a deal. I like lettering anyway. It's fine. Yeah, and notice that like even your erasers have anti-aliasing on them. So it's something to be aware of. A lot of the time it won't be a huge thing. It won't be like super painful, but there are instances where it can save you a little bit of work to just make sure you're using the setting that you want. That's all I got to say about that. I didn't erase the rest. Oh, yeah, I know what I did. I know what I did. Yes. Oh, that's sad. I'm sorry to hear that. Okay. Not sure where this is going. That's a little bit. Let's clean that up a little bit. Okay, not bad. Okay. Oh no. Was there like a time constraint on it? Maybe I need to make. Okay. Alright, let's tweak this a little bit. I didn't expect that. That was, you know what? I don't know where I thought the story was going to go. That was not what I expected. But yes, that also valid, but eh. I can draw better football than that. Honestly, I could probably listen to this victory music from Final Fantasy VII on loop for a really long time before I got annoyed by it. It has a history of moving on quickly. Oh crud, I've got 10 minutes. Dang it. Yep, that's not there. Man, Frank, you know what is obnoxious? This is not something I've had happen to me frequently, but last night, I guess because it's been cooler here, and we've been running like electric heat because, you know, it's Florida, which dries out everything. I got like one of those out of the blue nosebleeds. That's like never happened to me in my whole life before. Usually there's some manner of impact involved with a nosebleed. But oh my gosh, it went for like 45 minutes. It was, I was nuts. And it was the worst because it happened like right when I was wrapping up dishes and getting ready to go to bed. So then I had to like get it under control before I could just go to sleep. Out of the blue. What are you implying here? See, I already have a sound effect of a what, thok? Yeah. Thwok, thok. Should I go bonk? Donk. Sound effects are fun. I love that this is something that I have to like seriously consider. Should it be a bonk? How about a donk? Whack. Good whack is always good. Boing. I don't know. That's crazy talk. There is no judgment here. I'm just being ridiculous. I mean, thwack could also be satisfying, although it does imply a little bit more of a crispness to it. All right. I'm gonna go throw a football at my head, listen to the sound, and I'll be right back. You lost your mind this week? Okay. This is gonna be a good one, guys. Okay. Maybe thwack. I'm gonna write thwack for now. Kapowie. No, I need to stop. Nope. There's an H in thwack, isn't there? Okay. Dishes stacked so high. Check. 2 compartment sink. Check. Interesting. Clean this nose up a little bit. There we go. Get me a fork. Okay. Okay, so this panel I'm going to put a little more detail than my thumbnail did. Do better sound effect font than that. So literally every day you were there, you washed the dishes. I thought you were gonna say there's like some kind of misunderstanding with it, like, oh, they thought that all the dishes that I put where I put them was like dirty, so they just put them back in the sink. But hey, listen, you know what? At least you can, like, have the good feeling of, like, I did something to help. You know? There is at least that. No, I'm just complaining that I always No, you must find the positives. No, it's fine. Sometimes complaining works too. You told them you're going to start a TV show called House Nightmares, and they're going to be on the pilot. Why are they going to be on the pilot of House Nightmares? So wait, which hand was he holding it in again? His right hand. Okay. Yeah, okay. What should the other hand be doing? Oh, the empty Tupperware in the sink with food still in it. Yeah, not the best. Not the best. That's for sure. Okay, well, you know, I'm not as excited about this hand as I could be, so why don't I just clear that and redraw this little bit? I think that'll be good. So you're saying the cleaning was perhaps a bit challenging. Let's yeah. Okay, so I can move Oscar up a little bit here. It's a little bit of a compound action because I'm showing that having to show that it fell and cracked in a single panel. Oh, you know what I could? I'm saying tune into House Nightmares on ABC in the spring. Tune in to see this happen. Something like that. Okay. Okay, I'm feeling... Okay, that's wonky there. That part got wonks. That's okay. 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 Yeah? Maybe this is working? Okay. Yes? I don't know, it's the second time I've used that one. Switch it up, man. Sorry, clearly we're getting to the Geoff is in like a little bit of the zone slash brain not dysfunctional part of the night. But we're gonna keep going for a little bit at least. Stinky real G-Pen was holding you back for weeks, but you've now broken free of its oppressive grip. What have you moved on to? Slash, have you been getting your Clippy? Because talking about brushes makes me think of getting ridiculous amounts of free or Clippy only brushes on the Clip Studio Paint Assets store. And that reminds me that it's still the free Clippy event. You draw exclusively with the leaf brush. All right, what you got? It'd be kind of amazing to see a piece that comes out only with the leaf brush. Although technically speaking, if you made the density of the leaves thick enough and the size of the leaves small enough, and it would essentially turn into just a very heavily textured line. But there's easier ways to do these things. You know. Okay, sorry. I was just making sure to claim my Clippy before, you know, I think the day flips over at something like 4 p.m. or whatever. Can't remember when it is. But it's nice to have a little bit of Clippy that Clip Studio is giving out for free on logins, just to be able to pick up some of this, the assets, models, brushes, you know, whatever might be helpful to you. So wait, what actual pen are you using? Wait. That didn't answer my question at all. That was just a joke response. Hold on a second. I've been fooled. Normal G-pad. It's like the most. That's like the least climactic answer possible. I might do then also is draw the line on the sidewalk to make it clear that the statue is dropping on concrete. So what I did think is cool, and this is one of those like kind of fun things you can do about the format of comics, is you can take that sort of time-lapse feeling. So I could also have split this into an individual panel, or if I was feeling particularly daring, like try to cram in another one like right here where I have like a thin and narrow one, and it's like the kind of time-lapse feeling where you got steps of the wolf statue like falling through the air, like you have like a few snapshots of it in the different positions as it falls. That can be pretty effective, especially if you fade out the earlier ones to kind of give a clearer progression of time feeling. That could be fun. Because right now, it happens so suddenly with it hitting the ground. Yeah, I'm not sure. I might try that one differently. You know, I can always do the non-destructive edit. So I backed up that layer so I can just totally obliterate this. Actually, or wait. How do I do this? Maybe not the entire thing? So if you, on your home page, when you just launch Clip Studio, but not Paint, there should be a little floaty, glittery login bonus button. So for me, hold on a second. Let's try doing it this way. And I'm like slowly sinking into my chair as the night goes on. Hey guys, it's me. Doing good. Just gonna draw some here. Okay, this is actually much harder to do it this way. All right. Okay. And I'm back. Maybe you already found it. But does it not actually show that? What? Okay. We're going to try it. Okay, do you actually see any of my... No, it's just all... Why is that? Hold on. I realized that I didn't transition my scene yet. What? Okay. We're gonna figure this out together. Also, hi. Why is this not showing anything in the window? Okay. Okay. Interesting. So, you can't see it, but I've got like a little badge type thing. It's like a gradient transitioning from yellow through green to blue to purple, and it's got like a present icon, and it says login bonus. There's also a... Is it a social media post or a tips? No, in the announcements. If you have an announcements section in your Clip Studio, don't know why they set it up that I can't see this, but let's... Oh, but if I go to the Windows 10... Interesting. All right. Hey, look. There it is. There it is. Okay, so yeah, mine is right here on my main. When I open up Clip Studio, it doesn't go straight to Paint. It goes to this, where it has recommended materials, recommended popular tips, the announcements. So there's one announcement for login bonus, but I also get a little badge here where when I click it, it goes to this page. To show all the Clippy that I've already claimed. You found it? When I changed my capture method, I was able to find it, so that was helpful. Otherwise, it'll go to yeah. There is a nope, that just launches Clip Studio. There's a link, there's like a web page that launches and a link, but it looks like it just launches Clip Studio and goes to show login bonus. So there's that. But anyway, congratulations on your Clippy. There's actually quite a few things that you can get for like 10 Clippy. A lot of brushes and things, pens. So I don't end up using a large number of the ones that I get because I'm usually so satisfied with the ones that I've been using, but it's nice to have them. So I like to claim the Clippy, get what I can, and then have it there if I want. They do a lot of, there are a lot of creators who will do poses, and I feel like that I've actually done with the 3D models, to be able to just drop something in over a model and kind of at least get the reference you want, even if you don't entirely trace it, or sometimes just trace it. Yeah, there is a lot of free materials as well. Highly recommend. All right. So what if I do... So something like that also. I'm not 100% happy with those, but it's a start. And it kind of gets that feeling of like as it's coming down. So it really focuses on what's happening, and it makes the emphasis like, oh, he was holding it, he got whacked in the head, it fell, it cracked. Because that was one of the editorial notes, was that it wasn't, and granted some of this might have been from the loose thumbnails, but like it wasn't immediately clear to them when the wolf got injured. So okay, mostly done here with page 2 on pencils. So I feel pretty confident about being able to wrap this up like over the weekend, because I got this page and then page 4 to pencil. The anthology, yeah. So this will be where the goal of the whole project is to create an actual print anthology with different work by various creators that are part of the studio group of Kids Comics Unite. So we are we're working with the design committee, who we have the template for the printer that we've chosen that we're going to use for the first run. So we're going to do, depending on, we're going to kickstart it. So depending on the number of orders, we're going to order a print run, and then we're also going to deliver it to print on demand for more affordable international orders, because some of our people our studio members are international, and shipping from here to there would be prohibitively pricey. But also just to, in case we do sell everything that we do in the initial run, or in case people want to, you know, get the book, you know, later afterwards, we wanted to make it available on demand as well. So it'll be really exciting, because that'll be the first time for us that our work has been in a physical printed thing, and that's really fun. I think I really like that we've been doing this whole anthology project. Actually, what I'm gonna do, I'm happy with where I'm at. It's like 11:59, so I'm gonna switch over to just chatting here, just real quick. Yeah, it's been a really cool learning experience about starting to understand all the considerations that have to go into making a book, a physical book. I know Ashley and I have been pretty certain that the route that we want to go when it is time, you know, when we sell a book, is that we love to go with the traditional publisher. We want to, and it's worth the whole process of pitching, getting an agent, and then having to the agent takes it out to the editors, and then going through all that and the crazy amounts of rejection that come with that, and knowing that there's a lot of gatekeepers, and it's a difficult process, because it's also like, one is like, we want that feeling of like, someone said yes, we want to invest our resources to make this. It feels like, you know, it's a kind of a validation in a lot of ways, but also because we don't want to be a warehouse and deal with the shipping. But at this point now, we've had a ton of friends who are creators in the studio group that have done exactly that, and they've done it well, and it's gone well for them. So it feels more viable, and doing this project with the group, I think, makes it a little bit demystified, which is pretty cool. But honestly, it's just fun to make something with a group of amazing, talented people. So I'm excited to see what the final product looks like. We're in a critique group with a few other folks who are contributing comics to the book, and we've gotten to see some of their work, and it's really cool. So yeah, I mean, I'll be sharing all the Kickstarter. Oh, I don't know what that was all about. I will be sharing all the Kickstarter info when we're doing it, if anybody is interested in getting a copy. But I'm honestly just excited to hold it in my own hands, personally. So I think it's gonna be pretty cool. Yeah. I know, Frank, have you looked at anything like that? Like anthologies for, especially because you do like the shorter format, right? Like there's gotta be something out there. That would be kind of cool if you're looking, and it's a good way to get, take a next step and get some of that experience working with stuff. It's just a thought, because I mean, you've got like so many comics and they're fun. Yeah, I think that's the hard part, is like, it's not like someone often is going to come and recruit. Like, you have to find the right anthology to be a part of. I don't know. Anyway, it's been a pretty positive experience so far, and I'm excited for the thing. So I think, I guess recommending it. Daisy. Hey, Daisy, how's it going? Again, Stream Ninja, or Chat Ninja. Is that what we went with last time? Yeah. Daisy, are you saying that you would not, happily, purchase like an anthology that had some of Frank's work in it there? There we go. This is what the stream was missing tonight. Here we are. So I'm just watching, like, let's see how this all plays out. Oh my goodness, shots fired. Okay. Robux. Oh my goodness. All right, I need to stop going into popcorn mode. To be fair, Daisy, many Hallmark movies start out with that exact scenario, and it's not so bad. It's gonna happen to you. Okay, okay. It's true, housing is not great right now. Anyway, okay. So yeah, I think that actually does wrap up what I want to do tonight. So I'll be next week I will be moving on to something new, or at least something different. So what's coming up for art? I'll talk with Ashley and see what we want to prioritize. We're doing we're trying to get materials together to pitch our graphic novel during a pitch fest, also with Kids Comics Unite, and that'll be in mid-February. So I've got a couple spreads. Even though I have some pitch materials ready, what we want to do is going to require me to finish some new stuff. So I could be working on a couple of spreads for that starting next week, or I might jump back in on Core Tunes. There's also a couple of like slice of life ones that I wanted to work in at some point. So I haven't figured out exactly what I'm going to do next. Expect a byline for the hard shadows and horizontal reverse. I will give you full credit. Well, Daisy, I'm glad you came in for a little bit. It's good to see you. I hope you've been having a good night. But at any rate, I do plan on being back next Thursday night. Same Geoff time, 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Yeah, we'll see where it goes, and if anyone's interested, I can show where we landed on the Anthology comic submission piece, and go from there. And we will be working on this some more later because the final is due in March. Yeah, late March, maybe even a little bit earlier. So it's not the last we've seen of this one, but I think we're going to take a break from it at least next week. For a couple of weeks probably. So Frank, thank you for your wise advice. And for hanging out. It's always good to see you. Daisy, thanks for stopping by. It's not a stream without you these days, so I'm glad to have you here. Anyone else watching, thank you for joining in. I always say it, we're a lurk positive environment here, so just you being here and letting me share with you, I really appreciate it. I'm having fun doing this. This is my unwinding zen time. So thanks for being here with me. If you're watching the VODs on either YouTube or Twitch, I appreciate it. Feel free to leave a comment, leave a like, follow, subscribe if you enjoy what you see, and be able to join in and see future streams. So I think that's everything. And one of these days I'll remember to preload the stream ending graphic before I'm about to try to transition to it, but that was not tonight. Anyway, yeah, I hope you all have a great rest of your night. I hope you all have a great week in between here. I hope you are all well, and I will see you next time. Bye, everybody.